Yes! Oof.
When I help somebody achieve a goal, it just brings me so much joy because I've been in their shoes.
I'm sitting down here with meal number 3.
Go over my sleep supplements.
This might be my favorite one yet.
What?
You should probably pull back the volume. Just train it a little bit more frequently.
Whew, that was only one set too.
All right, guys, what is up, YouTube? Thank you guys for tuning in to the video. Today, I got a special one for you. It is Sunday, August 31st, and my coach updated my meal plan this week, so I figured why not show you my pre and post-workout nutrition. So starting off with the pre-workout meal, guys, today we are going to be whipping up my normal concoction, but today I get a little bit of extra food, so I wanted to bring you guys along with me and show you that. Without further ado, let's get into the pre-workout meal. So first up, guys, we are doing the Elevate Creamy Rice. Today we are doing the maple brown sugar flavor. We're gonna do about 140 grams of this. We have 100 grams of banana. We have about 40 grams of protein from whey isolate, so I'll have to look on my phone and see the exact number that I need for this. But we're gonna do the lemon pound cake ISO from Core Nutritionals. This flavor is one of my favorites to do in the whey drip, and it pairs perfectly with the maple brown sugar combo I'm going with today. So we're gonna whip this up, show you how I make it, and then show you the final product. So let's get it. First up, bowl on the scale. We're gonna weigh out our cream of rice. We are doing 140 grams, so we got an extra 50 grams of carbs this week, so 20 grams extra in this meal coming from cream of rice. So it was 120, now it's 140. That's always a good day when that happens. There we go. 140. There we go. And if you don't already know, the perfect ratio for cream of rice to water is about 3 to 1. So I like to do, if that was 140, 280, 420. So 420, baby. Today's gonna be a good day. Another tip, guys, when you're making your cream of rice, use a whisk. It's a game changer. No clumps. Perfect creamy rice every single time. Make sure you stir it up nice and good before that first microwave. Actually, make sure you stir it up between each set of microwaving it, because if you don't, it'll just be like a clumpy bowl, and it's not very enjoyable like that. So I find a lot of people that say they don't like creamy rice, they just really don't know how to cook it, because when I cook it for them, then they're like, oh, this is actually good. And I'm like, yeah, it was good the whole time, you just don't know how to make it. So in the microwave. Actually, I lied. I like to salt mine before I cook it. I just feel like it tastes better that way. So same thing with the cinnamon, guys. I like to add that as well as the salt. Stir that up before microwaving it. I find that it mixes in there better, and in turn, it just makes the creamy rice more enjoyable. So try that out. Instead of adding the cinnamon later, add it before you cook it and see if it makes a difference. So I used to do a minute and a half. Now, since I'm doing more creamy rice, I'm gonna go ahead and bump that up to 2 minutes and see how that does today. All right, while that is cooking up, I'm gonna go ahead and start making the whey drip. So I looked at my phone and I get 46 grams of this lemon pound cake isolate today. So that's what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna turn it into some whey drip, make it more enjoyable. Another minute. While that is finishing cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and get down to the whey drip. So I like about a 1 to, well, you're gonna see what the ratio here is. 1 to 1 seems to be pretty spot on there. Be a little bit thin, but yeah, it'll get the job done. Especially, I like to throw it in the freezer, let it thicken up, but it's a pretty good consistency where it's at. But I am gonna toss it in the freezer and let it cool off. That way I can pour it over my hot creamy rice, and then I don't have to wait as long to eat it. So this, straight in the freezer, and we're gonna finish cooking the creamy rice. So after this one, we wanna make sure that all those clumps are nice and smoothed out. Probably gonna be another 2 rounds of microwaving, and then it's gonna be perfect. Last set of stirring is starting to finally thicken up. So that means, that only tells me I got 1 more round in the microwave, and then it's gonna be perfect. So, absolutely 0 clumps in here. Ooh. Oh, this is gonna be so good. I actually love this meal, guys. Like, people kind of, they're like, how do you eat the same thing every day? And honestly, to me, if you know me, like, I have 6, probably maybe even more flavors of the creamy rice. I have 5 tubs of protein, and then I use either almond butter, peanut butter, or dark chocolate. Sometimes I even switch up the fruit. Sometimes I do raisins, sometimes I do blueberries. So the amount of different combinations you can make with this meal is endless. So I really don't get tired of eating it. Like today, I'm gonna have the brown sugar, the lemon pound cake, banana, peanut butter. Tomorrow, I might do some coconut cream pie and do the chocolate, and then top that with dark chocolate and raisins. I mean, that's like a completely different meal. So no, I don't get tired of eating this meal. I love it. I can make it 700 different ways. So this is my go-to pre-workout meal all year round, whether I'm on prep or not. The amounts obviously vary, as I'm showing you today. I get more food, but the food choices stay the exact same. Last microwave session. This one really only needs to be about 30 seconds because it's pretty much done. I just like it to kind of crust over on the top. And once I put it in there, I will not stir it. I will let it cool off for just a couple of minutes, and then it's good to go. One little tip, guys, if you're like me, I normally wait until I'm pretty much ready to eat this meal before I start making it. So I don't really want to wait on this to cool off. So I'm gonna toss it in the freezer for 3 to 5 minutes, and then it's gonna be perfect, ready to eat. That way I don't have to wait, 10, 15 minutes for this to cool off before eating it. One more thing to add on to this meal, guys. I always do about 10 ounces of coffee with my pre-workout meal. As you know, I'm not a big stimulant guy. I do like energy drinks and I do like coffee, but that's more so for the taste than anything. I do feel the benefits of the caffeine though, so try to limit that. So 10 ounces of cold brew, and then I'm not on prep or anything right now, so I'm definitely not gonna be drinking this straight black. I'm going to be adding, all right, that's 9.9 ounces, but it's gonna be close enough. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of sugar-free creamer. So I'm gonna see what the best option for that I got is. Now this is my second coffee of the day. The first one, I did the pumpkin spice sugar-free creamer. So I'm not gonna do that one again. I'm going to roll with the hazelnut. I feel like that's a good combo for this meal. So we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of this in my coffee, just because I would much rather not drink it black unless I have to. And honestly, this is not gonna kill you guys. It's gonna be, 2 servings, 2 grams of fat, 2 grams of carbs. I can easily pull that back out of my peanut butter amount. And if I need to pull the carbs back from somewhere else, I will. But it's super simple and it doesn't affect my digestion in any way. So I don't see an issue with doing it. I also add a couple packets of stevia in here because I have a sweet tooth, and without sweetener, my coffee tastes like shit. So there you have it. 4 packs of stevia, 10 ounces of coffee, and 2 tablespoons of sugar-free creamer. And that probably took long enough for my creamy rice to be done. So let's see how that's cooling off, and we'll get the rest of this meal going. All right, guys. So like I said, 100 grams of banana with this meal. 100 on the dot there. All right, so we chopped that banana up. This is going to go on the creamy rice, and then we'll weigh out my peanut butter. Boom. Make it look nice and pretty, because I don't know, I like to make all my meals at least look presentable. I feel like they taste better that way, but I know that's just in my head. With that being said, I do get 30 grams of peanut butter with this meal. So 35, 30 on the dot. That's what I'm talking about. That's gonna be really good. I'll show you this in a minute. I'm gonna let my whey drip continue to thicken up in the freezer. And while that's going, I am going to show you my pre and intra workout stack that we got going here. So let me get that. So as you can see here, my pre, my intra, well, I should put them in order. So I'm looking at the screen. Yeah. Pre, intra, and post workout. So I'm gonna dive into what these are. So first up, pre-workout, we are doing 2 scoops of the pump. This is the Core Nutritionals non-stimulant formula. This flavor, blue raspberry. All of the cotton candy flavors are spot on. They're my favorite ones. So I've been rotating through those. This is probably my second favorite, right behind the orange dreamsicle, which I just finished my last tub of that, so I had to get a new one. Figured I'd go with a different flavor, and this one did not disappoint, guys. Blue raspberry. If you haven't already had it, make sure you go try it out. That is what I'm doing in my pre-workout. So we got 2 scoops of that, along with 2 grams of pink salt. My intra workout here is a little bit different. So we got, there's actually a couple things in there. First up, we got 15 grams of the Silo 9 EAAs. No, I'm not with Hostile, but these were on sale the other day, so I got them. And I actually really like this flavor. It's blueberry lemonade. So we got 15 grams of those. We have 25 grams of carbs from Gatorade powder. This is just the cheapest for me, and it tastes really good with the EAA flavor that I have. So we're doing 25 grams of carbs from that. We have 10 grams of glutamine, and then we also have 10 grams of creatine. Those are staples year-round. And then another 2 grams of pink salt in there to round off my intra-workout. And then my post-workout, which I bring with me to the gym. That way, after on my drive home from the gym, I can kind of sip on this. And that's going to be 2 scoops of the raw replenish. This is part of their endurance line, so it's not really, I guess it's not technically made for bodybuilders, but it tastes amazing, one, so it's easy for me to get this fluid in. And then 2, the ingredients are very, like, it has a couple grams of carbs in it, but for the most part, you're getting that sodium and that potassium replenished from the session. So I tend to sweat a lot, so I like to take a hydration supplement right after I train just to get me rehydrated. That way when I get home, I can get straight into the post-workout meal. So that is gonna do it for my pre, intra, and post-workout. I'm gonna show you a close-up of the meal here, and then I am going to dive into this because I'm actually starving right now. So let's do it. All right, guys, so we have the full meal here, and I have the breakdown here in front of me. So we got 140 grams of the creamy rice, the maple sugar, maple brown sugar that is. We got 46 grams of the whey isolate, lemon pound cake flavor. We're doing 30 grams of peanut butter, it's topped with 100 grams of banana, and then we have my coffee here, which is just 10 ounces of cold brew. We got some stevia in there, and then 2 tablespoons of sugar-free creamer. But this is the meal, guys. This is the whey drip. So this has been thickening up in the freezer. It's nice and thick. I'm gonna hit y'all with the drip check here. That's money. I don't even feel like I'm dieting when I get to eat stuff like this, honestly. Like, I just feel like I'm eating a big bowl of cake. Make sure we get it all out of there. Can't be leaving no gains on the table, especially when it's the protein. I'm not lacking on that. I think that's all of it. God, that's so good. All right, guys, there you have the close-up. We got the bowl of creamy rice topped with some nut butter, banana, and of course, a lot of whey drip. Can't go without the coffee. The macros on this meal come out to roughly 20 grams of fat. It is about 50 grams of protein and just over 140 grams of carbs. So it's a hefty meal, but it goes down super quick, super easy, and it digests super fast as well, which is why I love to use this as my pre-workout meal. I eat this, chill out for about 20 minutes, maybe, and then I head straight to the gym and I'm ready to train. So try it out, let me know what you think, and I'll catch y'all with the post-workout meal. All right, guys, we are back from the gym. We had a great push session today. It took me a little longer than I hoped, but with that being said, it is now time for the post-workout meal. So let's get right to it. So this one is gonna be pretty similar to the one I had earlier. The only difference being this meal, I don't get any fats. So the thought behind that is really just so I can get my next meal in a little bit quicker. This meal digests really quick, so I'll go ahead and eat the next meal in, you know, an hour and a half rather than waiting the whole 2.5, 3 hours I normally wait between meals. So this is my only meal of the day without fats, but I'm gonna go ahead and get into the specifics here. We got 120 grams of the crispy rice cereal. This one's a little bit more dense in carbs than creamy rice, so I don't get quite as much. But you'll see 120 grams of this it fills the bowl up, so it's plenty. Boom, 120. And then I do 8 ounces of, not 8, 10 ounces of almond milk, unsweetened vanilla almond milk with this meal. I'm pretty sure my fridge is a little cold. This almond milk's like half frozen, but it'll get the job done. That is 10 ounces. And then I do have a little bit more protein post-workout just because, well, it's easy to digest post-workout. I don't really need a ton of protein right before training, but after. So I do have 65 grams of this whey isolate, and that yields just over 50 grams of protein. 65 grams. And then we'll top that cereal off with 100 grams of banana. And you'll also see I put some stevia on there, which I'll get. Told y'all earlier, I'm a sucker for anything sweet. So if I can kind of make the meal a little bit sweeter, that makes it a little bit more enjoyable for me. So I like to sprinkle a couple packets of stevia over my crispy rice. And it makes it more like a frosted, like if you ever get the frosted crisp, like the frosted Rice Krispies, this is what this reminds me of. So 2 to 3 packs of stevia. I think I'm gonna get another one. Yeah, we'll do 3. That's enough to cover the whole. Yeah, that's more like it. And the last step, 100 grams of this banana. And then that's gonna be the final meal. This is one fat banana. Oh, still more than 100. Bang. 100 grams. Slice that bad boy up. Nice and small. Make it look pretty. I cut the banana kind of slow, but I've sliced my finger one too many times to go any faster than this, so learned my lesson. All right, guys, so there you have it. That is the meal in the shaker. We have 65 grams of the core ISO chocolate peanut butter. That yields about 48 grams of protein. We have 10 ounces of almond milk in there, just to, I like mine with almond milk. Some people do it with water. I prefer almond milk. It gives me an extra 3 grams of fat, which I'm not really worried about right now. I just work that into my macros. With that being said, this meal does come out to about 135 grams of carbs. It's about 60 grams of protein and minimal fats just because of the almond milk and the protein powder. I think there is 6 grams of fat in this meal. But that is going to do it for the post meal, guys. Let me get a close up real quick. Dino down here thinks he's getting some, but sadly, this is all for me. There you have it, guys, up close and personal. We got 120 grams of the crispy rice, 100 grams of banana, and then 65 grams of the whey isolate, which yields right at 48 grams of protein, like I said. That is going to do it for the post-workout meal, guys, and that is where I'm going to end today's video. A little bit shorter style video for the day, but I want to see how these shorter videos do as compared to my longer ones, and see, maybe I'll just start doing some shorter videos and posting them more often, more like twice a week, 3 times a week rather than once a week. Who knows? We'll see. But thanks for tuning in. Let me know what you think in the comments. Comment your favorite pre and post-workout meals, and comment what you want to see next. Until then, peace out.